Hi, I'm Ethan.
And I'm Will.
And
welcome to the Flagstaff Squadron. Today we're going to be turning this to this. Clink.
So, today we're going to be going through the process that we took to make these.
Yeah.
These are our new combat-ready dueling lightsabers.
That look actually more like lightsabers, although we're missing our buttons.
We are, yeah. Yeah, but this is fine for now.
Nuts and bolts, nuts and bolts.
So we're just gonna, go through everything that we've done, to get to this stage. They're not quite completed yet, but they're pretty much there. So what we did is, we were gonna go and select pieces together, but we couldn't do that, so I just went with my dad. And I got a bunch of different plumbing bits, like, I don't know the, names for all these, but, this thing is, a coupler of sorts. This is a sink tailpiece. It's, an extension. And then this is, a combination of two pieces. And we used all the same pieces, just in different colors and orders. So,
but the tube is still the same.
Yeah, so these two pieces are still the same, just this part for me is inside of that thing for Will.
It's inside out.
Yeah. So what we did is, once I had all those pieces, we came home and we started sawing. So
we had to first, before sawing the PVC, we'll get to that later, we had to saw off, this metal was longer, we had to saw it off, which took a long time.
Yeah, the metal was really hard to saw. And it was because it had this little lip on the end of it, so it was a foot long, I think, and it had this little lip on the end of it so that you would attach to a pipe. But we didn't want that, so. And
then when we finally saw it,
when we got that through, we sawed the PVC. So this blade used to be just one really long piece. We cut it in half, roughly in half. And we were left with roughly 37 inches of blade outside of the hilt. But it does go all the way inside of the hilt, which makes it a lot more sturdy. And once we had all those pieces and we had the metal piece cut, we did a dry fit to make sure everything worked together.
And then, but before putting these pieces on, we spray painted them.
Yeah, we spray painted them,
and
silver and black.
them to
we
dry.
let those dry, and we used epoxy putty, and that kind of glued everything in piece together. So this bottom piece was epoxy puttied together, and then the top piece for me. Will's wasn't, because he had a really tight fit already.
Mm-hmm. And now this is the battering. This is the PVC pipe.
I think we're it's not done yet, really. I think what we should do is put a little bit of tape in a pretty thick area right at the top. So
and then we also have to paint the white.
Yeah, we might do that. We might not. We don't want it to rip off when we're fighting or anything. But that's then once we had those pieces painted and put on the hilt, we had just a basic hilt. It looks pretty boring, to be honest. And then we added
we painted buttons and we attached the buttons to
we attached the buttons to the hilt, and we also used a little bit of electrical tape for a little bit of a grip. And this, it doesn't look too much like a lightsaber, but this is just a practice. This is just so we know how to make the thing. Eventually we're going to make a different lightsaber that's going to be more customizable, and once we have, really this is just so we have the information on how to build one. So it doesn't really matter what they look like. I think they look pretty good. So we covered all of the spray painted pieces in a clear coat, which is a sort of paint protector that comes in a spray can. So it just protects the paint so it doesn't scrape off.
And then the final piece was we had to saw a hole through the PVC pipe, and here we got a type of screw, we got some nuts.
Yeah.
And then we had to put the screw in. Yeah,
so basically the process is you take the hilt, screw it, and then we put in a screw and some nuts. So what that does is, it essentially, if you take it off, once you have the screw out, then you can put this in, and we did drill the hole through the PVC pipe too. And then the holes line up, and you stick the screw through that hole.
First you gotta
You have to align it a little bit, and then you can just tighten it again, and it doesn't fall out.
Now, if you're wondering why we need a screw, well, because if we want it, holding it up here did nothing. But if we wanted to hold it upside down in the middle of one of the Form 1, it would just fall.
Yeah. So these are pretty much complete now. They look really cool.
Yeah.
Of course, this is both our designs. You know, I texted Will when we were in the shop to make sure that, like, if you wanted this kind of emitter or if you wanted this kind of pommel, that kind of stuff. And yeah, they look pretty similar, but that's fine. A couple things to watch out for, though. These are heavier than our wooden dowels, which are already pretty heavy, but, like, there's a really big difference here.
Oh, yeah. It makes these feel like nothing.
Yeah. So, basically what we're gonna do at some point is we're not gonna use PVC for, like, the blade, for the, like, this, we are going to use them for this lightsaber, but for our official lightsabers that we use later, we're gonna use something called polycarbonate, which is really,
which is not a Star Wars thing. It's an actual, real
it's an actual thing. And it's really strong. I think it's as strong as steel, but it's also a lot lighter than PVC. So it might actually be stronger than this and lighter. So hopefully at some point we'll actually have some weight in the hilt, rather than just in the blade. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe.
And hit that like button.
If the bell rings, then you'll know every time we post a new video. If you liked this video, we might make another one when we make our double-bladed / split lightsabers later on. But until then, this has been the Flagstaff Squadron, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah.